Those are not the words I would use.
That is crazy.
Yeah. That is a clip. I said this earlier this morning when I announced that she would be coming by the show. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, if we did a list, top TV series online or on TV right now, what would it be? And I said my top show that I feel like is the most relatable, most interesting. I cannot second guess what's going to happen in the next scene, and the acting is tremendous. Is High Fidelity, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. And High Fidelity stars Zoe Kravitz, Jake Lacy, and the woman we have with us today, who is the reason. Zoe was that drew me in, and Zoe is killing it on this.
Yeah.
Zoe is giving you so many layers to acting right now. I almost feel like the role she's playing is just really damn near seem like she's playing herself, but I know it isn't. Mm-hmm. All right. And then there's a character named Charisse on there that is just so unorthodox. I've never seen a person's approach to acting just like this. And it made me so curious about this person, even more so. And it reminded me that when her name came across the board a couple of weeks ago that she would be available, before I even watched this series, I said, just reading about your story, I want to have her on. Wow. Because my daughter went to Yale for summer school. Really? And for acting. Mm-hmm. And I know you went to Yale as well, mm-hmm. as well as Temple.
She went for the summer intensive.
The summer intensive.
Wow.
Yes, I remember driving her up there and dropping her off and leaving her like, who are these people? Right. Strange ass.
My father felt the same exact way.
Didn't he? Okay. Yeah. And, but she's here. She's a rising star. Mark my word. She done put in work from Broadway to the big screen to TV. She's done so much. She's here with us today. Please welcome Divine Joy Randolph.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome. I'm so happy to be here. That's dope.
Thank you. Why you happy to be here? I'm happy to have you.
This is an honor. Are you kidding?
Oh, jeez. Thank you.
This is an honor. That's
dope.
Man.
Appreciate it.
That's dope.
It's an honor to have you. Your story, you're from Philly. Mm-hmm. We just played The Truth by Benny Siegel. What you know about that? What the fuck you know about that, Davine? You from Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I threw out some old school Philly hip-hop people, you would know them?
I pray to God I do.
I know, it'd be so bad.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm starting to sweat.
You want me to throw one out? Okay.
Okay.
You know who Steady B is?
Oh, I'm getting nervous already. Can we play it?
Okay, play.
Sway taking a back.
Steady B, shit, which one should we play? Bring the B back? Bring the B back. Hold on. You got that wonder? Hold on.
You taking a back?
I got to. She said she was from Philly.
We could have started with Eve.
Come on. She said she was from... You know who Schoolie D is.
I know Eve.
You know Eve?
Yes,
I know Jill Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, a special person has played this song for me before.
Okay.
I know this song.
You know that? Okay, so...
There's no fellow who can rock like me. The motivator of the microphone's initial is B. The words that I'm stating, consider them factual. Got the knack for the rap cause I'm a natural.
No, not ringing a bell.
I've heard it.
Okay, real up. So you started around the Eve...
Well,
State property time.
Okay. I'm late 80s.
Late 80s.
Fresh Prince.
Yes, hardcore. There we go.
Fresh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've heard that before.
You heard that before. Mm-hmm. How much did the culture influence you as a kid? And then how did you, what did you adapt from it to help you as an actress?
Well, everything. I mean, that's what I grew up in, you know what I'm saying? And my parents made sure to keep me grounded and have appreciation for the community. Yet, I was just talking to Bevy.
Bevy Smith.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, the real deal.
Okay.
I went to private schools. My whole entire time. My parents are both educators. My mom's a kindergarten teacher, so education was everything. And my parents knew that the public system that was provided to me within my community was not enough. So they made a decision to put me in private schools. So I was bused to the suburbs of Philly, like, Upper Darby, Upper Murray, over in there. And I went to school there. So it was a code shift, you know what I mean? Yeah. But what was instilled was that I never, ever, ever could lose myself or, lose sight of my community. So I had the education to have the ability to do things outside of what might be limited to my community, yet never losing an appreciation for it at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's juggling that.
Yeah.
That was a huge thing.
Because also depending on how the community reacts.
There you
a
go.
lot of times you go off, the parents ship you off to private school or whatever, and people they turn their nose up. Oh,
Right.
you think you better than us? Or
Right.
did you experience that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I experienced it from both sides, but the key is that I realized that there was a presence and necessary space for me in both arenas.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was an exchange of information and cultures on both sides. You know what I mean? Like food in many ways was a huge thing where I was exposed to different things. I'm eating sushi, you know, in middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, back in the streets, like, yo, they got this thing over there called sushi and it's fire. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so it was like, you know, just of that it's okay. It's okay to have an awareness and appreciation for things, but as long as you bring it back to the community. See, I think that's the key thing that's missing. Don't go off and get high acidity and forget.
Right.
You got to bring it back and educate and bring it to them.
Yeah.
And expose them to it so that they can then go off and do whatever it is that they want to do with it. I think that's where the big disconnect is. I don't think there's anything wrong with us wanting to be our best, fullest selves, and we shouldn't be shamed for it.
Absolutely.
But you cannot forget where you come from.
Davine Joy Randolph.
I like that.
You see where we going with this, Mike Muse, right?
Yeah.
Powerful singer. I want to get into that in a second, but I do want to talk about High Fidelity, which was an adaptation from the 2000 film with John Cusack, who I actually watched that film. Catherine Zeta-Jones was in that as well. And it was made into a series. Questlove is also one of the executive producers on it.
Yeah.
When you watch this series, because before I really knew that, I was just watching it and listening, and it's based in a record store that Zoe Kravitz's character owns.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I used to work in a record store in Oakland,
Dope.
in the Bay Area. So I'm
Dope.
looking, okay, they got a record store.
What they about to do.
Shit, you know what they about to do. Everything about that environment was accurate. In fact, it was better than the record store that I worked in, because it was, you guys have the characters have a lot of conversation about music.
Yeah.
People are very passionate about music, which in itself to me is a character.
It is. It's a whole culture within itself.
Okay, speak to that a little bit.
Yeah,
if you can.
I mean, you know, that is a thing. I think that's their dissertation, if you will. That's their thesis. You know, so they're very well educated and well known of what they're providing in their store, so that no matter what customer comes in, they can drop you with the knowledge. And what's cool about it, and something that Zoe and I specifically talked about heavily, was we didn't want to show two women of color that was limited in a stereotype, as if we were only stuck in the R&B and hip hop section of the record store. That we wanted to show diversity, and we wanted to show an eclectic vibe. Like, I remember I had never heard that Paul McCartney "Arrow Right Through Me" song. That tripped me. I didn't even know Paul got down like that.
Yeah.
That thing really swings.
Yeah.
And so I was obsessed with it for 2 weeks, and that's we as actors, that's all we talked about. Like, oh my God, and then the bridge, and then he kills us with it. And so it was natural, you know, that we go in like that, just naturally as human beings, as music lovers, and on like a deeper acting level with the character. Sharice is the only actual artist in the group.
Yeah.
They're music heads.
Yeah.
They talk about it. But she's an artist, and they rag on her like, well, when that album gonna come out, you keep talking about it. But what they don't know is these conversations are paramount to her deciding who she's going to be as an artist. She's trying to figure out her identity as a musical being, because she has a vast array of eclectic taste. That's a hard thing to choose. You know what I mean? Like, usually most artists, if it's, you know what I mean, I'm jazz, and I'm jazz.
And you there.
You may go a little bit, you know, to the left, but it's not going to get that crazy. You know what I mean? You're not going to then go to something completely different. So the idea of her trying to, you know, in episodes when they're like, who are your influences? It's from here to all the way over here. So it's complicated for her. So these conversations, though they don't know it, is everything to her.
It's informing her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see it play out when she saving her money for the guitar. And
Yeah.
then she's putting up an ad to be in the band.
Yeah.
And then one episode, one guy read the paper and
Oh,
then
man.
looked at Sharice and was like, nah, hell no.
Come on.
What now?
And that's real.
And that's real. Saw what Sharice looked like, I guess. Or
yeah, that's what it is.
Found out she wasn't
they see what
fit.
she looks like, and he's like, because from what he read, there's basically she lists all her musical tastes and interests, and from what he read, he then assumed that artist is in a certain type of body with a certain type of skin tone. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then when he then sees who it is, he's then like, oh no.
Yeah.
You know, and that so often happens in this industry, even with acting. When you see something, they get very fixated on this image of what it is. And that's why my parents instilled in me, you have to get an education. They really didn't care what I did. But they said, whatever it is that you do, you have to get the highest form of education in doing so that you can be the best, so that no one can tell you no, or that they won't tell you no because it wasn't for the lack of your training or your talent. It could be everything else. So that's why when I audition, if I don't get the part, I don't trip.
Yeah.
It's no bruise to my ego. I know I did my job. I know there's politics to things, but I know I did my job. So what I want to do is, and what my mission is that I want to go beyond the norms. I want to show women, black women in particular, of many different variant types. And if I am going to play something quote unquote stereotypical, I got to show it in a very intelligent and complex way, i.e. what I tried to do and hope it was brought across with Empire for Pound Cake.
Yes.
If I'm going to be in prison,
yes,
I got to show you all the complexity, all the levels. Why am I angry? Why, you know what I mean? Why do I have all these, issues that I'm dealing with that you want to just on one dimension label me with? Psychologically, I got a lot going on. I got trauma in all of this. You know what I'm saying? So let's show all of that. And that's then when you can then look at something and be like, you can reach more people that way.
Yeah.
If you show complexity, you can reach more people. If you show a stereotype, it's only going to hit a small group of people.
They've seen that before.
They've seen it.
Yeah.
5 minutes in, they already know what the end of the title is going to be.
Yeah,
they already know. They already guessed it. And y'all are smart. The viewers now are very intelligent and very smart. The regular stuff doesn't cut it no more.
Yeah.
You have to bring it to another level. And also, why can't we as black people also bring quality? Why can't we have quality as well?
Yeah.
Everything out there isn't always great. It's not enough just to be like, well, we did it. It's out there. Boom. Something black. There you go.
Yeah.
I want to take it to a whole nother space.
Can't just be black. Got to be great.
And we're great naturally.
Yeah.
We're great naturally.
Yeah.
Culturally, everyone comes to us. They watch and see what we do. Appropriation is crazy. It's really crazy. And they naturally see what we do. So why not let us do it? Our own selves.
I like
Don't
that. Don't
let them take it and then run with it and then they get paid for it. We just doing this on a Tuesday just cause.
Amen.
So
I
it's
like
just
that.
you have to you can't let them make you feel like you're less than, because you're not. Because on the low they're taking all your stuff and putting a different package, and then you're like, wait a minute, that looks really familiar. Yeah, because it's yours.
It's yours. Divine Joy Randolph, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I love this right here.
Oh, yeah.
I love this, and that kind of explains Sharice's character, because there's nothing normal about your approach.
No.
I mean, from the boogaloo moves and the dancing you're doing.
Yeah, I did a lot of research.
Yeah.
Because I'm from Philly, but, Brooklyn is a very specific thing.
Yeah.
Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy is a very specific thing. And I had to go to the source and find people from that community and get very specific, from clothing to dance moves to isms to sayings, working to make sure that the dialect was on point and right. Being like, okay, but so Philly says it this way, but how does Bed-Stuy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it wasn't just like, oh, urban, oh, black. I'm not going to put on my black voice. No, it's real specific.
Yeah.
That's a real specific New Yorker, born and raised.
Yeah.
You know?
got to nail it.
Yes,
Or they
so
would kill you.
accessories, everything. I don't know if y'all catched it. I give a shout out to Queen Latifah.
I caught that.
With the keychain, with
Yes,
the key.
I see it.
And I said to wardrobe, I said, listen, y'all, here's the picture. And I will say this about wardrobe. They were very open to the communication and the conversation of putting forth the culture. They're not always that way.
So it's that's the other thing. The wardrobe was so on point. They're not necessarily from the culture. So I'm figuring everything about this.
There was two white ladies.
Really?
But what I did before that show is that I went and built basically, iPhotos. I had albums upon albums of photos in which I took research, maybe over 500 pictures of street style that I saw that was dope, taking back from, the 90s as well as, now and bloggers. And I made a whole album, if you will, of the style. And so she went through, and I give her credit. We sat there and she went through every one, and she liked this. And so, there's one outfit where I have on a Brooklyn Nets jersey and basically like knockoff Gucci shorts, basketball shorts. But we wanted to do that to give that nod, which is what was very real of old school Dapper Dan, you know what I mean, of stuff being created. So it's as if in her own way, she was on her, she can't afford it where Dapper's at now, but like, you know what I mean, in her own way, she went around the corner, got some fabric, whatnot, and was like, I'm gonna do my version of, you know what I mean, Gucci knockoffs. And we had said, like, would it be fly if we like cut the jersey in half, and we had one side personally for me of Sixers, other one be Brooklyn Nets, sew it together, and you got the two mismatch. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it funky and fly. And this idea of she's a creative. Yeah. So everything, you know what I mean? She's gonna combine the new stuff with the old. She's gonna wanna, get her hands involved with stuff and stitch it up and distress it and do different things with it. She's gonna talk to the people in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like the lady who rocks the denim and distresses stuff. She's gonna be like, yo, can you make me these Jones over here, and can I get that and that? It's
Jones.
not. See, that's
Your
a Philly
Jones.
word.
She went to Philly on us.
Yeah, but not, instead of just being like, oh, I'm gonna go to Gap and H&M and wherever would have been within her budget. She's like, I don't care about labels. I just want to be fly. Yeah. The Kicks, they had a real healthy budget. So when I was like, oh, can we see if we can get sponsored by it? They was like, just tell us what Kicks you want. I was like, oh, wow.
How much?
Hey, Disney?
How much?
Hello.
Questlove, is he hand selecting all the music we're hearing in the score and the
to my
songs?
knowledge, yes. So when we was filming, we weren't with him with he wasn't doing like the day to day like that. So I can't really speak on it, but to my knowledge, so what happened was, I think they kind of had a general idea because it was written in the script. Okay, it's already written in the script, like what songs are playing during certain scenes. Okay, and so whether that might have been handpicked and predetermined. And when I first knew I had got the job, Zoe had sent me a playlist because I was like, so what? Were y'all friends, Zoe? I had never met Zoe before.
Y'all seem like y'all hang out.
I had never met her before, and then we had a real dope conversation, woman to woman, of how. Where we bonded on was that we wanted to tell an authentic story of a black woman and give voice to the voiceless in the arena where we didn't see before. You know what I mean? Of a more eclectic, full-rounded black female, that's not just hip-hop all day, but has it, you know what I mean? But then let's add it with a twist, you know what I mean? And maybe do some Andre, you know what I mean? Like, do it that way, you know what I'm saying? So that's what we really bonded on, but yeah, she sent me a playlist, and I was like, yo, this is the greatest gift you could give me. Now I get this world. You know, because it was like, I on paper, just when like white Hollywood or whatever writes the script, you're like, okay, well that seems stereotypical. That seems angry. Yeah. I don't seem like I support my sis in this. I don't feel comfortable as a black woman, not looking as if I support her. It looks like I'm tearing her down. Break this down to me. And she sent me the playlist, and we talked for hours about it. And I was like, okay, this is a whole new territory. So we got to redefine or define
it's new.
what this space is. Yeah. But just constantly keeping in check, and it would be a thing of like. We do a take and it'd be like, was that angry black woman? No? Okay, great. We can keep it. It was serious.
Y'all was touching everything.
Touching it, being like, okay, that seemed a little. Yeah. So let's, and I'd be like, got it. Cool, bet. You know what I mean? So it was because we did not want to go there because I think it would take away from what y'all are now seeing. But it was like, she's so detailed. You just have to give her props. This is her first time being a lead in EPing.
You wouldn't even know it.
I'm not trying to be cocky, but I think this show is successful. Yeah. I think it is. And to imagine that this is her first time, the details, she was not playing. If they put a cup and they was like, okay, this is it. And she's like, but where's the Where's the New York cup? With the blue thing on it, the blue and white one with the gold lettering, and they're like, oh no, but this is the coffee cup. She's like, no, but where's that cup? You know what I'm saying?
It needs to be that cup.
And it was so dope because you see this young fly black woman running it.
Bossed up.
Running it. Not mean, not bitchy, not all this other stuff. Just a girl who is on her job and passionate. And I'm just sitting back smiling because I'm like, look at all these white people standing around like, yes, Zoe, and absolutely. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, this is dope.
Was that your white voice right there?
Okay, I have a good one.
Let me hear it.
Yes, absolutely. There's a part. Do you remember that with the old girl?
And you imitated.
She was like, she said something about, do you have another thing? I was like, why? Do you want to give it to your boyfriend?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my
She
white
wanted
voice.
that album. She didn't know what it was. She wanted the Michael Jackson.
She wanted the off the wall. I got to say, these people are mad about that.
Why?
I think
you got backlash about that?
Bro, these messages on the Instagrams.
That's good.
It is. You know what?
Good.
I needed to hear that.
Yes, that's
Thank
great.
you. We're
Give
doing
a round
our
of applause.
job.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's what you want. They care.
They care.
Because they got caught up. And then something happened that they didn't necessarily, and they care. You hurt their feelings, but they care, maybe.
They do, and y'all really love MJ, serious.
They going to get deeper about it, too. Have the B got to go to Urban View right now?
I got to leave right
now.
It was lovely to meet you.
I love you. Wait, because somebody take a picture of me and her.
Okay, and she got another interview right now, too. Real quick, who got a quick question before she go? Well, she can do that answer while you go. Go, DB, go, boom.
Yeah, I just wanted
to
ask,
Dolomite.
Because, that's what I was going to say, was that you described your character in High Fidelity, which really reminded me of Rudy's character finding his way, working in a record store in Dolomite and trying to figure out who he was going to be, people not giving him a break, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing mirrors each other. The same with Zoe's mom working was starring in High Fidelity, the original in 2000. So did you guys talk about those parallels as far as like you coming from Dolomite into this and her mom being a part of the original film?
Well, I think what was really key there is the underdog story is always, that'll never get old. Seeing people, level up, that never gets old. We didn't specifically talk about it, but I will say a huge theme was glorifying the common man and the hustle and how real the hustle is. Like, Sharice ends up having multiple jobs, you know what I mean, to fund her dream.
Yeah.
She's not, and that's that New York mentality as well. Y'all are serious.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna make it work one way or another, and it's just crucial. And I think, what she was raised in, and that's that sense of like that creative to expand. Don't stay limited. Don't stay stuck to that, niche thing that you're really good at. And I think for both of us with this role, we found our way in, but then we wanted to expand. And in times it was uncomfortable. This job was hard. I talk real fast on this show. It's really lot of words.
So are you any improv? Because the way the dialogue, you might just jump on somebody and everybody catches on it.
Usually with this show, the rhythm basically was like we did the first 2 takes as is. My character has a mouth, so then take 3, I'm starting to talk, in improv. And then from there, usually Zoe, and now's nothing. Zoe can go toe for toe. She is not. That girl is quick.
Yeah.
If I say something slick, she gonna say something slick back, and then we going back, and then be like, all right. But then a lot of times that end up being the take that you took.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like episode 6 when it's like basically a 2-hander with me and her. It's a lot of like this one scene where I was like, you have to tell yourself, you gotta be strong and go out there and do that. I'm a G and I can do this. I just improv. And then randomly what's beautiful in that when you feel comfortable, I bark at the end of that. I don't even know where that came from. I was like,
you went on your way out.
Don't even know where that came from. And they took the take and the director was like, my God.
That was hilarious.
Let's keep it. Yeah. So there's a beautiful thing in improv that when you feel comfortable and you can trust your counterparts, magic happens.
Davine Joy Randolph is here. High Fidelity, I'm saying it for the record, the best series on TV you can find, and it's on Hulu.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Zoe Kravitz. Everybody on here, Jake Lacey, David Holmes, who plays Simon, who's hilarious. He fits right in.
And that's a hard, 2 black women?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. What is that afro? Is he Jewish?
Listen, I don't know if I could say this, but he said he was looking at some pictures of his grandma, and he was sent me to me, and he was like, Davon, I think I might be black. I was like, I don't know, send me the pictures. His grandma is black.
Really?
Truly. And I was like, brother, how did you not know? And he was like, oh, I was young.
Wow.
That young man is black. I don't know how much, but he got it in his
He got
blood.
an afro. Mike Muse, go ahead real quick. She got to cut out now.
When I'm loving this conversation, you said something about the costuming and the amount of work that you had to do in order to inform what your character is actually wearing speaks to how much representation is important and below the line production in terms of costuming.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about Ruth Carter, right? And individuals like that to bring the importance of authenticity when it comes to that. But that wasn't my question for you. That just kind of jarred me.
Yeah.
I'm happy you did it and you were happy.
It's
But I'm
necessary.
also, too, like, that's the reason why we need more of us below the line in those type of spaces. But you talk a lot about what you're talking about is a lot of agency, right? And owning your own agency. How is that when you're on set, like bringing your own authentic self and be able to tell the producers and the directors, like, no, the black woman is more complex, is more layered. This is what needs to be done. How much leeway actually do you have, even not with just High Fidelity and some of the other things you've worked on?
You have to fill out the room. You have to fill out the room, and you have to see what kind of people you're dealing with. So in some situations, I'll do it just through acting. I won't even talk about it. I'll just do it as the character. And then they're like, oh, can you do more of that? Because with a certain person, if I were to then pontificate and go deep and talk about it, then they're like, I don't know. Sometimes you just have to show them. You just have to show them. And then they're like, oh, okay, dope. And then other times, like, you know what I'm saying, with this situation with Zoe, we could talk about it for hours. I will say, into what you're saying, Ruth set a standard for me. Because as a curvy woman, I'm used to the world being limited to me. Me personally going shopping, me doing red carpets, you know what I mean? Me trying to find, the right team to work with me to create a vision. Because I don't want to just put on anything. It's got to be fly. It's got to be right. I'm serious about it.
Look at your earrings.
Thank you very much. But it's purposeful. So when Ruth showed out on me, then that's when I was like, oh, y'all done messed up because now this is the bar. So having just finished that project and then coming into this, that was what, and I said, Ruth, I don't know what to do. It's this white lady. How are we going to? And she said, who is it? And I said, it's Colleen Atwood. She goes, oh, she's not going to trip. She's not going to trip. She said, come prepared, have your stuff. She'll respect you for that, and she'll honor it. And that's exactly what I did. And I came with this book of things, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking with people, breaking it down, people I respect, who's been styling, you know what I mean, for years, in the 90s, 2000s, music videos and everything I was taking from it. Ironically, Lauryn Hill just ended up being a huge influence in general. And we took from all of that. I wanted to, wear, which now is a company. Have you seen this? It's a dude that, or woman, I don't know who does it, but they sell Letterman jackets, black Letterman jackets, but they have the patches of prolific people, black people within our culture, and they put them all down the arm. Have you seen
I've
these?
seen that. What is that?
Fly, cool something? I don't know. Fly. I was like, can we figure out some way to do that? You know what I mean? Or like, and I wanted to wear a Lauryn Hill band t-shirt. I wanted to have camo that's cut off and cuffed. You know what I mean? I wanted to distress in this and wear Nike's rock New Balances.
Yeah.
Not just wearing Jordan. You know what I mean? So it was like, but I had to learn. So I had to surround myself around the right people to get educated, because Philly style is different from New York style.
Yeah.
So I had to go to Brooklyn cats to figure it out and be like, okay, sit me down and school me. Tell me how they did it. And as I'm listening, I'm putting this in, or putting me up on game and being like, all right, listen, if you in Crown Heights, you probably Caribbean descent of some sort. You know what I'm saying? So then they put me on to certain, you know what I mean, reggae songs, and like, yo, this should be like your theme song. What if you came in and entered this way? And I would come to the table as much stuff. They didn't say yes to everything, but they said yes to most.
Davon, Joy Randolph, real quick, you played Lady Reed. Dolomite is my name, alongside Eddie Murphy. DB had a chance to talk with Eddie Murphy on the red carpet, and he hasn't been the same since. I promise you that. Anything, I know you have to go to this next interview, but working with Eddie Murphy, you know, I can only imagine what it must have been like, but that imagination is definitely inaccurate. I've never worked with him, but what's one thing or two things you took away from working with him that he either he shared with you or you learned from it?
Humility.
Okay.
Putting God and your family first. Knowing that this is nothing short of a privilege and an honor to be in this space. And that when these people are rocking with you, you gotta take it as far as it can go till the wheels fall off. But humility.
Yeah.
As much as these people, you know, because we were doing press and stuff together. That's one of the most generous people I've ever met, both on and off the screen.
Wesley too. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Both of them, honestly. I mean, the whole, truly, Mike Epps, Craig Robinson, truly, Keegan-Michael Key, truly all of them. But those two in particular, and Mike, truly just, they held me up. And they didn't have to be that way. I remember when the HR lady, you know, came in to, you know, have a conversation. I said, man, I might have you on speed dial. Like, I don't know what this finna be.
Yeah.
But all these guys, flawless. They woke, kind, gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? And just so giving, where they could have equally been like, move, this is my space, you stay in your lane. They was like, nah, sis, soar. You know, and when he took me along, you know, with press things, pretty much every press thing he did, he made sure I was doing too. It didn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that I noticed the more hype it got around him, the quieter he got.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And preserved his energy. So I would watch and I would be like, oh, okay. All right, cool. Let everything else get, that can all be chaotic. But my center will not be moved. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that man is phenomenal, and there's a reason why he's able to give to y'all, give to this community in the way that he can, and he does so freely and from a place of pure childlike joy.
Yeah.
Like, he's a gift. He's a true gift, and it's nonstop.
You're a true gift.
Thank you.
You are truly a gift. I can't even tell you how. I forgot I was like, shit. I randomly was watching you this week. I was in the Bay. I'm from Oakland. I was in the Bay. Went to see my 95-year-old grandmother for Valentine's Day. My 107-year-old grandma lives out there. And it was the only thing I watched this weekend.
Wow.
So last night I was like, Davine's on the list for tomorrow. You got a number. Tell Zoe. I don't know, man. Sway in the Morning might have to fit in that show somehow, some way.
You know what?
I'm
that
just
would
telling
be
you.
dope.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm going to pass it along.
Pass that along.
No, that's fly. You could absolutely make that
happen.
happen.
That can happen.
Absolutely.
I just throw it out there.
Yeah.
Right until the wheels fall off. Davine Joy Randolph, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Check out High Fidelity. What else you got coming up?
I just finished doing Lee Daniels' Billie Holiday biopic.
Wow.
Did she just stun on us right there?
You're playing Billie Holiday?
No, I'm not playing Billie Holiday. Andra Day is playing Billie Holiday. I play her best friend.
Really?
Yeah. Her childhood best friend, yeah.
Come back to talk about that.
Oh, I can't wait.
Okay?
I'm excited.
All right.